G'day. So today, as I said the other day, I was going to do some interviews with storm chasers. So today I'm with Jamie Pilkington, who's he runs Pilco's Chat on Weather. It's a Darwin-based group, and I'll put the link in the bottom of the comments. So, hey Jamie, how you going, mate?
I'm doing all right, thanks, Nico. Yourself?
Good. All right. So let's just get into business, shall we?
Oh, why not?
So, let's go back in time and what got you into weather in the first place?
What got me into weather? Oh, well, it's going back a long time, actually, I'll tell you now. What are we talking about? Back in about the
When
1960s?
I was going to say we're back when T-Rex was around, but yeah.
No, it would have been the 70s. I think what probably got me going, I think, was we used to sort of live in a property north of a little place called Jamestown in South Australia. And so we'd get snow up there in winter when no one else would in South Australia, which was a bit of a nice sort of thing to happen occasionally. But I think probably what it was, I suppose we had a bit of an electrical storm there one night, which sort of ignited some stored wheat that had sort of worked so hard.
Oh, really?
One night, yeah. We had the storm come through this one night, and so that sort of fascinated me a bit. But also down in South Australia, as with most of Australia, I think 1973 and 74 were very wet years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was probably at that stage when you sort of gained an interest, and because we had a lot of storms and heavy rain in South Australia, as did most of Australia in those years. Of course, 74 was a bad year for the territory, but that probably
with Tracy,
with Tracy. It's probably where I gained my interest, I suppose, was about then. So and I've always had a fascination with it ever since. I haven't. I was no good at meteorology, so to speak, but just learned by myself with everything that goes on.
Oh, because like we were just discussing off camera a second ago about how you watch the clouds. So is that where did you learn that down south?
Pretty much, yeah. And it works differently down there, obviously. With most of the weather down there comes from the west, whereas here, probably most of it comes from the east, especially the early part of the season.
Get some good storms down there, I noticed, in winter as well.
Well, the funny thing is, I still think to this day the best lightning storm I've ever seen was in South Australia, because it's high base lightning. So your storm clouds, you get there up, the base is not low like it is here in the territory. We're up in the tropics anyway.
Where you can almost go up and touch
it. Incredible, some remarkable lightning down there, but you tend to get more frequent storms here, and they certainly have a bit of a punch storm, that's for sure.
Well, obviously, because you've lived in South Australia and up here, so now is the question: what is your most memorable experience? Would it be a cyclone, a storm?
Oh, I don't think I could go past tropical cyclone Thelma. I think.
Yeah.
That's probably. Even though we had Carlos, which was a bit of a non-event here at Palmerston, and Marcus was short, sharp, and shiny.
Yep.
And caused a bit of damage here at the house, but. Trees down, which took us a day to get out of the yard. Thelma, and purely because of the amount of rain that fell. And then that rapidly developed from, I think, was probably a strong Category 1 into a Category 4 within about 6 hours or 8 hours.
Was that the one that developed over land, or was that Marcus?
that was Marcus. Marcus.
Because that developed more over land.
Yeah, that's right. So that was fascinating. And the fact that Marcus was slow was good. But, Thelma just sort of went against the grain. It was heading comfortably, out in no man's land, at Timor Sea, but it just tended to track south there for a couple of days, and that sort of got everyone on edge here because it did reach Category 5. And quite often with a lot of cyclones, I mean, that didn't get as close as some of the others have got, but we had, I think at home we took out 370 mil of rain one day and 265 the next, so it was phenomenal rain.
So 24-hour totals?
Yeah, 224-hour totals there.
That's impressive.
Yeah, incredible sort of rain. So
even for a cyclone, that's pretty good.
That is, and it was just, and I still remember, once the heaviest rain, the showers that came in afterwards was just the heaviest rain you'd ever see. Like just absolutely swamped down and heavy winds with it.
Fucking sun in my...
Yeah, sorry about that. I'll move the lights for you.
Can someone move the sun? No, I'll deal with it. Okay. So last question, just to, like I said, it's just a weather with, unique stories with weather nerds.
Yep.
Why did you start Pilco's? Because if I remember correctly, you said you were on the old Weather Zone forums.
The old North of Tracy. Yeah, I was on the old Weather Zone once, which was a sad day indeed when they deleted them. But North Australian Chasers. So there was a group up here called North Australian Chasers, and I think if you dig in the history on Google and that, you'll still find some of the forums on there. So and I got drawn into that. I didn't even know it existed actually, and then I think Mick Keeley of all people tracked me down. I didn't even really know Mick up to then, and Trev Acton and Paul Mossman I think was sort of one of the blokes running it, and James Pickett, and these guys were sort of running the show and sort of said, "Would I be interested in being on it?" So I said, "Yeah, no worries," and it was a really, really, really good forum. And so it wasn't a big I don't know how many hundred. We didn't have thousands because it was sort of a closed sort of thing, and it was. It wasn't on Facebook. Eventually, it went onto Facebook, probably, which ironically was its downfall. But yeah, and then of course costs are involved with running these sort of things, and then yeah, it sort of ended up falling apart and going its own way, sort of thing. And then I was actually sitting here talking to the wife there one day, and God bless Beck. Anyway, and sort of said, I really miss that camaraderie that you have with your mates. And they are mates,
Yeah.
Same with on Pilgos. Everyone I chat to on Pilgos are mates to me, even though I've met most of them. But and it is, you get real close to a lot of people and you have a good laugh about all and sundry, and it's not serious. And then Beck sort of said, why don't you start up your own? And I said, no, too much mucking around like that. And anyway, 6 hours later, what? There's your page. And then you
so Beck is the true founder.
It should be called Beck's
Yeah,
Beck's Weather
Beck's
page.
Chat on Weather.
Yeah, and I said probably if I was going to call it something, Pilco's Chat on Weather was never going to be it. But anyway,
Right.
it's stuck, and now it's quite comical, really.
Yeah.
And it's just, as you know, Nico, being one of the admins on it, it's just a good fun group of blokes.
It is.
Boys and girls, and it's not serious. It's nothing like that, but it's probably. Like Palmerston, where they do a good job down there, and it's probably Territory doesn't have many of their own, so
No.
more the merrier, I think, if we can get it running. And you yourself with your wandering weatherman, you'll be able to have Territory with your travels and
Well, that's the plan. Go around and document all different things, and
exactly.
do this kind of thing with other people as well. Because I know a few people around Australia. I'm even going to probably line up Johnny. I've got Chris on Saturday, probably.
Oh, you poor bloke.
We love you, really, Chris. If you watch this,
Yeah, we love you, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah. A few other guys with the United National Weather Team.
Good.
That new one. So
yes. Yeah, that's good. That's a really good.
Well, there we go. So that's just a quick, unique insight into someone's whatever, their perspective
Almost
of weather.
Fantasy,
Yeah. So anyway, so I will post Chris's when I do it on Saturday. So
Cheers, Nico.
thanks, Jamie.
No worries at all, mate.